This video will contain spoilers. Consider yourself warned. In episode 4 of Bad Monkey, we dive deep into the past, exploring the events that shaped the twisted dynamics of Nick, Eve, and the others. The flashback reveals Nick taking his daughter, Caitlin, to a party, hoping to help her advance her modeling career. But it's at this party that he meets Eve, a struggling actress with more ambition than talent. Her inability to cry on cue nearly exposed her to Yancy, but it's Nick who sees potential in her, despite her professional shortcomings. Their connection begins when Nick promises her a life of luxury, a promise that ignites a series of manipulative schemes. This night also marks a significant turning point for Caitlin, leading her down a dark path of alcoholism and addiction. As we fast forward to Nick and Eve's wedding, we see how Caitlin's relationship with her father deteriorates, her discontent and substance abuse foreshadowing their estrangement. Nick's descent into criminality accelerates as he teams up with his friend, Dr. Israel O'Peel, to orchestrate the ghost patient scam under Midwest Mobile Medical. Eve is a willing accomplice, fueling Nick's dreams of wealth and grandeur, which only pushes him further into the scam. Meanwhile, other characters like Neville, the Dragon Queen, and Yaya grow wary of Nick's lingering presence, drawing the attention of federal agents. Facing a potential 20-year sentence, Nick scrambles for a solution and turns to Eve, who suggests an extreme plan to fake his death, culminating in the gruesome idea of severing his own arm to make the deception more convincing. In this flashback, Nick, also known as Christopher, emerges not as the mastermind villain but as a man manipulated by the true antagonist, Eve. Before meeting her, Nick was just a father trying too hard and a friend involved in a low-level scam. Eve, on the other hand, reveals her true nature as a manipulative and psychopathic figure, particularly when she eagerly agrees to Nick's plan of self-mutilation. Israel plays a critical role in Nick's transformation. He performs the amputation, with Eve assisting despite her apparent disgust, though she's careful to save the expensive watch. Israel's actions, from smashing the limb's edges to bribe Finney into spreading the story of the severed limb, are pivotal in the scam's success. But as the scheme unravels, so does Israel's confidence. And when he begins to have doubts, it becomes clear that Eve's influence on Nick is driving him to darker extremes. The episode takes a darker turn when Finney starts blackmailing Nick, prompting Eve to push Nick into eliminating any loose ends. This results in Finney's murder, further solidifying Eve's role as the catalyst for Nick's descent. Eve's obsession with wealth and power drives Nick to betray Israel, shooting him in the head when Israel considers confessing to Yancy. The scene in the parking garage where Nick accuses Eve of not being involved highlights the destructive power she holds over him, a power that leads to more bloodshed when Heather with the weather overhears their argument, resulting in her murder at Eve's hands. As the episode shifts back to the present, Nick reconnects with Caitlin, only to be horrified by Eve's cold suggestion that Caitlin might expose their secrets. When Nick accuses Eve of plotting to kill Caitlin, she manipulates him once again with a single tear, drawing him back under her control. Yancy's storyline also deepens in this episode, with a flashback to his first encounter with Bonnie, which sets the stage for his romantic entanglements. Their flirtation is short-lived but leaves a lasting impression on Yancy, especially after learning about Bonnie's abusive marriage. This insight into Yancy's past sheds light on his impulsive nature and why he was suspended from the force. In the present, Yancy's budding relationship with Rosa heats up, culminating in an intimate moment in the morgue. Rosa's honesty about her past contrasts with Yancy's impulsive actions, but their connection grows stronger despite, or perhaps because of, their differences. The episode concludes with Yancy connecting the dots about Nick's true identity, realizing that Nick and Christopher are the same person. But just as he pieces it all together, Yancy is brutally attacked by Nick, who's more desperate and unhinged than ever. What do you think about Eve's role as the true villain of the series? Do you think Nick was always destined to spiral down this dark path? Or was it Eve's influence that pushed him over the edge? Let's discuss it in the comments.